be peaceful, warm, bright, harmonious, joyful and happy. The love of the greatest Creator should be fully deployed here, and the love of Jesus the Christ and Buddha Sakyamuni should be realized here. The beauty of nature should be deployed here. If we can't approach these, we will feel ashamed in front of the greatest Creator, Jesus the Christ, Buddha, and the nature. We will set up a model of lifestyles for human beings on earth, and build the homeland into a warm, peaceful, bright, joyful and happy place. Only by filling up the abyss of misery and bring human beings out of sufferings will we worthy the name of Lifechanyuan celestials, will we be able to pay off the debts which have been accumulated in many lifetimes, will we be able to accumulate ample capitals, so that we can come and go freely in unlimited time and space. A peaceful and warm homeland should be established like this. Revere the greatest Creator, life and nature, follow the way of the greatest Creator. Stick to 800 values for new era human being. Conflict resolution in humans' consciousness is through love rather than promoting Lifechanyuan values through arguing, disputing, struggling, or battling. Be patient with those who are unwilling to accept our value and permit them to think about this for a period of time. Be sure to carry out our practice like a Chinese saying, when a melon is ripe, it falls off its stem. When water flows, a channel is formed. Do not disturb other people's belief system. No matter which religion organization, which group of self-refinement, which political party or government they might be, we will not disturb them. We only follow our own way without hurting other people. We will not criticize and disturb them, and we will not say that we are the only correct one. We advocate, let 100 flowers blossom and 100 schools of thought contend. Fragrant flowers attract butterflies. Chanyuan celestials should set up examples for human beings through their outstanding qualities and behavior instead of highlighting themselves through preaching or arguing. We revere and love life. We would hurt nobody, even demons and ghosts and all sorts of evil spirits, let alone flowers, birds, insects and human beings. We refuse any forms of struggling, and we would never force other life to accept our concepts in the name of justice. Other people could hurt us, but we would never hurt other people. Brothers, sisters and lovers of the homeland must be amiable to each other and no blaming. We should not educate each other, we should perfect ourselves first rather than staring other people's shortcomings, especially those celestials who contributed to the construction of Lifechanyuan a lot, the celestials of spirit level and management level and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We must not try to teach or instruct other celestials but should give a demonstration. Bear in your mind that in Lifechanyuan, education and instruction is the guide's business, not yours. Your business is to demonstrate your genuineness, goodness, beauty, love, faith and honesty through your words and action. You just need to do your job well, trying not to be above others, trying not to be a leader, for the homeland is neither a religion organization nor a political party. There is no leading or being led, govern or being governed here. Every celestial is the baby of the greatest Creator, and the follower of Jesus the Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, and Prophet Muhammad. Every celestial is the dearest of Guide Shui Feng. So, in our homeland, no mental, psychological and physical hurt is permitted on the celestials, not one jot or title will be permitted. We will try to make all celestials enjoy a happy and free lifetime and a beautiful future. Any idea or practice to force one's will on the celestials is totally wrong. It is the guide's as well as everybody's duty to protect our loved ones from any mental, psychological and physical hurt. In the aspect of sex in the homeland, it is open and free, but there is no permission for any attempt to seduce, lure, threat, harass or control other people according to Chanyuan values. Making love is an advanced and beautiful dance of two souls with same values, rather than a way to release sex desire. No stable and special relationship is permitted among celestials except for some historical relationship, such as husband and wife, parent and children. The stable and special relationship will be harmful to the harmony of the homeland, and it might be dragged into the swirl of secular world. Every celestial should pay off the debts, free from worldly attachment, accumulate merits and create a beautiful future all by himself. What the homeland provides is a foundation and circumstance for each celestial rather than dealing with personal affairs in secular world. One must be responsible for his wrongdoings and take the consequences. Any intention of obtaining happiness from the homeland without personal endeavor and devotion is illusion, because it deviates from justice and fairness, which is the way of the greatest Creator. Therefore, no selfishness and laziness are permitted here. If you don't give in this home, there is no way you will have the right of enjoying the happy life in the homeland. History has given us a golden chance for sublimating our quality of life, and this age also give us a chance of demonstrating our genuineness, goodness, beauty, love, faith and honesty. People will be facing with more and more crises and dangers, and there will be a period of hard times in future. We should bring hope for people and create a beautiful future for human beings. In such a perilous and harsh moment, it is what the greatest Creator has blessed us and what Tao has glorified us. We must hold firm faith and belief without a second changing, and devote all we have into the construction of the homeland, into this great career for human happiness. To be selfish you have to be unselfish first, to be somebody you have to be nobody first. The secret of becoming celestials lies in here. This is way of construction of a peaceful and warm homeland, this is the way of creating Lifechanyuan for human beings, this is the way of self-fulfillment. How to get along with each other in Lifechanyuan. Xiefeng. December 22, 2009. All Chanyuan celestials have obtained life visas and are the loyal disciples of Jesus Christ, Buddha Shakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, relatives of Xiefeng, the tour guide of Lifechanyuan, and blessed children of the greatest Creator. The relationships between Chanyuan celestials are as brothers, sisters, relatives, and lovers. All Chanyuan celestials must love, care for, encourage, and forgive each other. They share common beliefs, common values, common hobbies, and a common future. Among these are having no conflicts of interest, no differences of nobility and lowliness, no quarreling or fighting, and no irreconcilable contradictions. The excellent qualities of Chanyuan celestials should be reflected first in their relationships with each other. Those who care for and love their brothers and sisters are walking on the way of the greatest Creator, adhering to Lifechanyuan values, and respecting the guide. Similarly, those who hurt their brothers and sisters of Lifechanyuan are deviating from the way of the greatest Creator, abandoning our values, and hurting the guide. When brothers and sisters encounter difficulties, we must do our best to help them by never turning a blind eye or a deaf ear to them. We must share weal and woe together, and when they are unhappy, we must never gloat or ridicule them, but make them feel loved with warm and passionate words, enlighten them with wise words, let them know that they are not alone, and that we are all with them and care about them. When a brother or sister makes a mistake, we must rally together, not to criticize or bludgeon them, but rather to forgive them and help them to realize their mistake through the salutary influence of education. In the case of their failing to realize their mistake, we must wait patiently and give them opportunities to resolve their issue. If a brother or sister commits a crime unintentionally, no one should ever discriminate, ignore, despise, or monitor them, but forgive them. As long as they remain in our homeland, we must still care for and help them. We use only love to transform them. When brothers and sisters are in poor health, we must give them special life care, including the best food in the home, and let them have enough rest, offer more warm and encouraging words to them, and give them all the conveniences they need. When brothers and sisters have special interests or hobbies, we must not deprive them, but respect and encourage them, not restrain them, but understand them, and not deflate or attack them with any excuses, but do our best to support their interests. When brothers and sisters say wrong things accidentally or even hurt another one intentionally, no one should ever attempt a tit for tat or combat poison with poison, but forgive them and treat them with an open mind and an open heart. When we encounter disputes and conflicts among ourselves, we must never tie our feelings in knots, nurse our grievances, be indifferent to each other, or hold grudges as strangers. We must learn to forgive. We must never speak words that are insulting, hurtful, caustic, offensive, or undue, but rather ones that are lovable, cozy, humorous, sweet, and tender towards each other. We must never plant thistles and thorns within our own spiritual gardens. When we chat with each other, we must never discuss the mistakes of others. In this homeland, no matter what, where, or under what circumstances we talk, we must always avoid talking about the wrongdoings of other brothers and sisters as much as possible, and must never sprinkle salt on their wounds or pour oil on their sparks, but always respect the dignity of everyone and fully protect their privacy. Do not guard against, monitor, supervise, or track and investigate your brothers and sisters. Do not speculate in your own heart about their thoughts and feelings. Do not compete with them for anything, and do not argue, scold, or beat them, and do not take them to court. We would rather be bullied or hurt by our own brothers and sisters than bully or hurt them. We would rather believe them absolutely than doubt them at all. In any difficult or hard situation, we should surrender our way of life to any of them and leave death to ourselves. Chanyuan Celestials are virtuous people who are free from vulgar tastes, extraordinary people with open minds, people who are going to heaven without nostalgia for the mortal world, people who understand the value and meaning of human life and treat their life journey with a game spirit, people who know the secrets of life and understand the priority of life so as to improve and perfect their non-material structures until they finally achieve the status of celestial beings. There is nothing that we cannot understand and nothing that we cannot make allowances for and forgive, especially for our own brothers and sisters. There is nothing that we cannot pardon. All Chanyuan Celestials are relatives of Xiefeng, and I will be glad when you love, care for, and get along well with each other. I will be sad if you hurt, dispute with, or estrange each other. Let us follow firmly the way of the greatest Creator as guided by Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and the great leader, Mao Zedong. Let us make unremitting and unswerving efforts to climb to the highest levels of life and life. Let us march together happily, joyfully, and harmoniously to the Celestial Islands continent. Humanity's most ideal life has been born on Earth for over a decade. Xiefeng. July 11, 2023. Translation edited by Chinyu. Let me describe this kind of life, so you can see if it is the most ideal life for humanity. No one pays you a salary, bonus, or benefits. You have nothing, yet you immerse in happiness every day, no longer worrying about the necessities of life. No one supervises you, everything is up to you. Yet, every day, you willingly create, give, and contribute, finding your greatest joy in doing so. No worries about unemployment or the necessities of life, risks are shared, and resources are shared. There are no internal laws to constrain you, no rules or regulations to restrict you, everything is voluntary. Yet, life is lived in a tranquil ease, and people interact in a peaceful and harmonious manner. There's no conflict, let alone competition or contention. No marriages, no families, so there's no worry about caring for the elderly or raising children. Tedious household chores disappear, and complex interpersonal relationships vanish. A rich and varied sexual life without the need to invest time, energy, or money in maintaining specific romantic relationships. No corruption, theft, gambling, or drugs, only love pervades the space. There's no manager above your free will, only values and programs are at work, values managing, and programs maintaining. Just be yourself, no need to scheme for interpersonal relationships. No lazy people, everyone is striving to achieve the highest quality. Use the resources within the scope of supply as much as you want. There is no designated person responsible for distributing the fruits of labor. Everyone's freedom and security are paramount. No interference in your freedom, no neglect of your safety. If anyone encroaches on others' freedom, threatens or harms others' safety, the program will expel them from the living circle. For a maximum of 3 years, everyone's living and working environment relocates. From place A to place B, then from place C to place D, and so on, indefinitely. Traditional customs of treating and giving gifts disappear. No need for anyone to establish special relationships. Holidays related to religion, political parties, or nations all vanish. No celebrations of birthdays, but cultural and entertainment activities are abundant. Sick individuals may receive care, but not pity or sympathy, as the basis for falling ill no longer exists. Why even fall ill? End-of-life care is meticulous, and everyone will die with dignity. Everyone is a labor creator. White-collar workers who are purely exempt from physical labor account for less than 1%. The wealth gap is nearly zero. No worries about education, healthcare, housing, or retirement since the collective assumes responsibility for all. The aforementioned ideal lifestyle can be partially realized in any part of the world or integrated on a global scale, but it cannot be fully unfolded. For some individuals, this way of life is undesirable. Those deeply entrenched in pursuits of power, wealth, and social status, aiming to live lives that evoke envy and jealousy, find this ideal life appalling. It needs to be vigilantly guarded against, prevented, suppressed, and eradicated. This ideal life has existed on Earth for over a decade. Therefore, it is not just a paper theory or an imaginary concept, it's a living reality. Do you think there is a more ideal way of life? If so, please enlighten us. Humanity's most ideal life has been born on Earth for over a decade. Xiefeng. July 11, 2023. Translation edited by Chinyu. Let me describe this kind of life, so you can see if it is the most ideal life for humanity. No one pays you a salary, bonus, or benefits. You have nothing, yet you immerse in happiness every day, no longer worrying about the necessities of life. No one supervises you, everything is up to you. Yet, every day, you willingly create, give, and contribute, finding your greatest joy in doing so. No worries about unemployment or the necessities of life, risks are shared, and resources are shared. There are no internal laws to constrain you, no rules or regulations to restrict you, everything is voluntary. Yet, life is lived in a tranquil ease, and people interact in a peaceful and harmonious manner. There's no conflict, let alone competition or contention. No marriages, no families, so there's no worry about caring for the elderly or raising children, tedious household chores disappear, and complex interpersonal relationships vanish. A rich and varied sexual life without the need to invest time, energy, or money in maintaining specific romantic relationships. No corruption, theft, gambling, or drugs, only love pervades the space. There's no manager above your free will, only values and programs are at work, values managing, and programs maintaining. Just be yourself, no need to scheme for interpersonal relationships. No lazy people, everyone is striving to achieve the highest quality. Use the resources within the scope of supply as much as you want. There is no designated person responsible for distributing the fruits of labor. Everyone's freedom and security are paramount. No interference in your freedom, no neglect of your safety. If anyone encroaches on others' freedom, threatens or harms others' safety, the program will expel them from the living circle. For a maximum of 3 years, everyone's living and working environment relocates. From place A to place B, then from place C to place D, and so on, indefinitely. Traditional customs of treating and giving gifts disappear. No need for anyone to establish special relationships. Holidays related to religion, political parties, or nations all vanish. No celebrations of birthdays, but cultural and entertainment activities are abundant. Sick individuals may receive care, but not pity or sympathy, as the basis for falling ill no longer exists. Why even fall ill? End-of-life care is meticulous, and everyone will die with dignity. Everyone is a labor creator. White-collar workers who are purely exempt from physical labor account for less than 1%. The wealth gap is nearly zero. No worries about education, healthcare, housing, or retirement since the collective assumes responsibility for all. The aforementioned ideal lifestyle can be partially realized in any part of the world or integrated on a global scale, but it cannot be fully unfolded. For some individuals, this way of life is undesirable. Those deeply entrenched in pursuits of power, wealth, and social status, aiming to live lives that evoke envy and jealousy, find this ideal life appalling. It needs to be vigilantly guarded against, prevented, suppressed, and eradicated. This ideal life has existed on Earth for over a decade. Therefore, it is not just a paper theory or an imaginary concept, it's a living reality. Do you think there is a more ideal way of life? If so, please enlighten us. I am a Chanyuan Celestial. Xiefeng. August 16, 2006. Translated by Tongxin and Shidai. I am a Chanyuan Celestial in Lifechanyuan who has descended to the human world from the heavenly kingdom with the instruction to help guide, harvest ripe crops, and build Lifechanyuan, initiate Lifechanyuan era. This is my mission, my long-cherished wish, and more importantly all the meaning of my life and life. Let's follow the guide to moralize humankind, making people respect the greatest creator, life, and nature and follow the way of the greatest creator, guiding them away from the Egypt of soul, and leading them to a new era, in which the worthy person can fully utilize his talents. The whole world is like one family, and no one will keep lost articles found on the roadside, and the houses need not be bolted at night. I am a Chanyuan Celestial, humble and insignificant in power, but I have a perfect soul and morality. I am one of the most civilized and well-bred men of mankind. I am never arrogant and conceited, I am not swell-headed with pride, and I never impose my wills on others. I am hard-working, I am committed to work, I practice hygiene, value facts, believe in science, and advocate social morality, and promote credibility, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I do not oppose the government, I do not harbor animosity to anyone, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I love my hometown that has raised me and brought me up, I love my parents and fellow citizens who have endured all kinds of hardships, I love my brothers and sisters, I love all that love me, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I love my husband or wife, I conscientiously raise and educate my children, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I will listen to the teachings of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, the Prophet Muhammad, and the Celestial Lao Tzu, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I only follow the way of the greatest creator, I do not follow any other way, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I do not control others, I do not engage in forceful occupation, I do not restrict anyone's freedom, and I do not allow others to restrict my freedom either, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I want to share the same frequency and resonance with the values of Lifechanyuan, I do not want to stick to my prejudice and partial understanding, I believe in the greatest creator and the arrangement of Tao, I believe in the luck that brings people into a relation, I believe in the track of life, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I regard other Chanyuan Celestials as my sisters, brothers, and lovers, I will open myself to other Chanyuan Celestials, and exchange with them my understanding and perception of life and life, I would like to accompany my sisters and brothers on the journey of life, I would try whatever is within my power to help other Chanyuan Celestials, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I do not gain extra advantage unfairly, I do not pocket anything on the ground that does not belong to me, and I would not claim as my mine the fruits of others, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I am always grateful, I never create trouble, I never exploit others' labor, I would rather endure hard work and hardships than do anything against my own conscience, because I have my good conscience, and I have a court in my soul to judge sincerity, falsity, kindness and evil, and beauty and ugliness. I always engage in introspection, self-trial and self-check, I never indulge myself or be too tolerant to myself, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I believe in miracle, spiritual perception, and I believe that there is in the heavenly kingdom 1,000-year world, 10,000-year world, and Elysium world, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I will trek and scale the highest realm of life and life, no matter how treacherous the road ahead might be, no matter how many twists and turns and setbacks I might encounter, no matter how hard kind-hearted people around may dissuade me, and no matter how many Chanyuan Celestials might leave. I am staunch in belief, obstinate in will, indomitable in spirit, unswerving in determination. I will press ahead with indomitable will, and I will never give up until I have accomplished my goal, because I am a Chanyuan Celestial. I have a magnanimous heart and a lofty ideal. I will never be overwhelmed by setbacks, adversity, and death, because my life is linked to the source, I am blended into the soul of the greatest creator. The sky may fall, the earth may cave in, but my spirit will survive eternally, my life will live on forever, my future will be extremely beautiful and splendid, because I am a Chanyuan celestial. I am a Chanyuan celestial, and the terminal that my life is running toward is the celestial island continent of the Elysium world, which is my permanent hometown and my cozy home. I am convinced that the guide will enlighten me on the mystery of life and the path to the heavenly kingdom. I firmly believe that I will have an island as the size of the earth, and I will be the master on this island. I will create my beautiful home according to my interests and likes. I will always invite super celestial beings on other islands to visit this island of mine, and I will also pay visit to super celestial beings on other islands. My life will from then on be eternally from misfortune and afflictions. I will stroll about to my heart's content and fully enjoy the grace that the greatest Creator has blessed with. I have embarked upon the expedition of life. I am a Chanyuan celestial on the sailboat of Lifechanyuan, sailing happily forward to the infinitely wonderful future. Wish me good luck. Admire me. Because, I am a Chanyuan celestial in Lifechanyuan. Ideas on the material life standards of the second home, now new oasis for life. Xiefeng. December 31, 2009. Shanghai Celestial indicated, if the present standard of diet will be the ideal state of Lifechanyuan era, the so-called best living style of human beings in Lifechanyuan would be still in name than in reality. This is a very good indication. In the related articles about home without marriage and family, I mentioned many times that each celestial in home without marriage and family would enjoy a separate bedroom and bathroom, and it would be better with a small garden. The standard of living will be at upper middle level in the world. Looking from the above ideal standard, home without marriage and family is far behind the previous expectation. At least the standard of a bedroom with a bathroom for each does not come up to what has been expected. In land of idyllic beauty, there is only one bathroom for 30 people. As far as food is concerned, the standard of living in home without marriage and family has been at upper middle level in the world. You may take a look at the situation in Africa, India, the Arabian countries, the ordinary people in Chinese mainland and most people in Southeast Asia. The only inadequate supply in the dietary structure is meat in home without marriage and family. Except that, we are in need of nothing. But, the focus in home without marriage and family is self-improvement and self-refinement, and one of our principles is basically on vegetarian diet. Therefore, the so-called, in name than in reality, standard of living is actually wrong from the want of meat point of view. Housing quality and hygienic conditions will be improved later, but the diet will be at the present level. Eggs, Chinese tofu, vegetables, soy sauce and seasonings, steamed buns, dumplings, steamed twisted rolls, deep-fried dough sticks, noodles, and rice are ample for supply. This is enough, and it is very difficult for further improving our diet standard. The housing condition is relatively safe and clean. Most celestials' beds are made of wood, and mattresses and quilts are in good conditions too. So, nothing should be complained about these. What people wear every day is provided according to the change of seasons and specific requirement. None of these are of famous brands or in fashionable style, they are very practical. In the aspect of transportation, home without marriage and family will rent vehicles or sent for those who need. Transportation fee for going business downtown will be paid by the home too. In the aspect of communication, internet is available in home without marriage and family. Many people have cell phones, and there is no problem about this matter too. Cell phones are personal properties and the bills are paid personally. Undoubtedly, there is a rainy day in the life of everyone. But I had emphasized that we are here pioneers for constructing the home rather than enjoying. It is not a pioneer's spirit and mind for asking these questions about the standard of living. Moreover, all of us are masters of home without marriage and family, and the unsatisfactory part in the home is related to all of us, not only the guide and the president themselves. We should be all responsible for it. What I must emphasize here is that all expenditure of the home now depends on the donations of our brothers and sisters, and we cannot use them all in improving our living standard. The improvement of life must consist with the material reality, thus, it is improper for asking too much in this respect. There should be a process for the realization of things, especially those impractical demands by now. Moreover, enjoyment should be proper to what you have devoted to the construction of the home, and it is only that what you have devoted must surpass what you obtained. Is it possible to pay off all the debts which have been accumulated in several generations and realize your dream for marching toward heaven? Much expectation for high level of life enjoyment with little devotion would be very improper for being a Chanyuan celestial. I wish every one of Chanyuan celestials will embrace the spirit of those people of Red Army who traversed the long march, the snowy mountains and the marshes, will embrace the spirit of the Tang priest and his 3 disciples on their way to spiritual mountains. We should enjoy high standard life in spirit and mind instead of in material expectations and desires. Otherwise, our enterprise will make toward secular things, to corruption and degeneration. In the scope of government management. Xiefeng. July 10, 2008. One idea of the Lifechanyuan values is, the management system of human society is Lifechanyuan plus public governance. This idea means that Lifechanyuan has created its own system in the ideology realm such as belief and so on. The main connotation of this system is to obey the instructions of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Prophet Muhammad, Celestial being Lao Tzu and all the sages in the history around the world, and work hard to cultivate oneself to revere to the greatest creator, life and nature, to follow the way of the greatest creator. In human life, we should pursue delight, joy, freedom and happiness. As a life, we should work hard to extend our life to heaven, the 1,000-year world, 10,000-year world, Elysium world and celestial islands continent. As an individual, we should trudge and clamber towards the highest ideal of human life and life. As a group, we should work hard to initiate the Lifechanyuan era. No one pockets anything found on the road, doors unnecessarily to be shut in the evening for no thieves drop in, person of virtue won't be abandoned away from government, honesty prevails throughout the world, peace reigns over the world. Everyone is happy in the picturesque scenery and everything is in harmony. The other side of this value is that all the activities of mankind should be brought into the scope of government management, whether the production management or forming an association or taking part in some activities. Everything should be lawful and comply with the government management. We need to obey all the laws and regulations constituted by the government. We should not handle affairs behind the back of government but need to respond all the calls from the government. All the production activities should apply for the record of the corresponding government agencies and carry out under the scope of government management. All the productiveness activities should not only acquire the permission of the government but truthfully report the earning performance to the government and pay the corresponding tax. In one word, everything except the spiritual and psychological activities should be brought into the scope of government management. Only in this way, the whole society can be in order, stable and harmonious. An orderly, harmonious and stable society will benefit everyone except careerists. Everyone is first a citizen, then a person of self-refining or self-improving. As a citizen, accepting the government management is one's obligatory responsibility and duty. We should not be a self-refining or self-improving people who surpasses the government or an anarchist, and we should not challenge the authority of government or causally disarrange or deprive the administrative management function of government. In the same way, as a citizen, we should not optionally humiliate or assault the government leader. On the other hand, we should respect them just like respect ourselves and our own parents. No matter what the excuses are, any speeches or actions that intend to interfere, surpass and displace the government are wrong, barbaric and unsatisfactory. Such actions are doomed to be defeated and bankrupted. No matter the human society enters into any civilization level, the government is necessary, and any political parties, religions, religious groups or self-improvement groups cannot displace the government. Any political parties, religions, religious groups or self-improvement groups who want to displace or surpass the government is to go against the benefit of society and the whole people. Culture makes the people and the people make the government. The foundation of the government is the people and the duty of the government is to serve for the people. The first necessary thing for an honesty and high-efficiency government is the cultured and civilized people, and the first necessary thing to cultivate the cultured and civilized people is to build up a healthful and civilized culture. Lifechanyuan is working hard to build up such a healthy and civilized culture. The Chanyuan Celestial of Lifechanyuan is first a citizen who observes law and discipline and safeguards the government functions, and we should never imagine that Lifechanyuan will become some kind of organization to surpass the government. All activities of Lifechanyuan have to be brought into the scope of government management, and every Chanyuan Celestial first has to work in the scope of government management. The activity of any Chanyuan Celestial going against the government in name of Lifechanyuan is absolutely misconduct, and the concept of Lifechanyuan will absolutely fight against them. All the values of Lifechanyuan are publicized in the website of Lifechanyuan, and there are no other values except all these. All the activities in Lifechanyuan are overt, otherwise they do not belong to Lifechanyuan. Lifechanyuan does not assume any responsibility and obligation for any Chanyuan Celestial speech and action, and Lifechanyuan will never arrange or impose anything on any Chanyuan Celestial, and everything is out of voluntary. So Lifechanyuan will not take any responsibility or obligation for any Chanyuan Celestial. Everything in Lifechanyuan has to withstand the monitor of government, the supervision of people and the public comment. The values of Lifechanyuan have to meet the doctrine of the greatest creator, the discipline of society. All the values should not only be reasonable but considerable, not only respond to the former theory but consider the future development, not only is full of celestial beings feeling but also have humanity, not only consider the individual achievement but the promotion of the whole mankind, not only take into account the actual benefit of every country, political party, religion and family, but also make all the countries, political parties, religions and families disintegrate finally. In one word, to safeguard the government and to bring everything into the scope of the government management is the eternal value of Lifechanyuan. Invitation of Lifechanyuan. Dayform Buddha, Xiafeng. October 31, 2004. Lifetime is but a dream, life is not empty. Live life to the full, my life will be worthy. Follow the guide of the greatest creator will be beneficial to humanity. Blessed by God and Buddha, ideal will come true. Lifechanyuan follows the Tao of the greatest creator. Safeguard life, cultivate saints. Great wisdom appears simple and the supreme wisdom is intangible. Keep Buddha in your mind and your wishes may come true. I'm Dayform Buddha coming from Lifechanyuan, an honest servant of the greatest creator and a devout disciple of Jesus the Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, Prophet Muhammad, and Celestial Lao Tzu. Sincerely following revelation, I commit myself to the founding of Lifechanyuan in the mortal world, unifying all religions into one belief system, saving the living beings and reaping crops. Lifechanyuan is planning to set up 256 branches throughout the world, with the primary mission of spreading the Tao of the greatest creator, promoting social stability and harmony, instructing people for their gradual life evolvement to the high-level spaces of life, and in the end, achieving the quality of celestials. This is a game. Any saints in the mortal world, classified by groups, no matter what races or nationalities, religious beliefs, parties and factions, social status, educational backgrounds, ages and genders you belong to, you may join the game with us if you are willing to follow the greatest creator. The only groups of people we will not accept are the civil servants in government agencies, military personnel and all kinds of armed men. The reason of our rejection is not that there is no saint in the above groups, but that we worry that some confusions, troubles might be caused to the governments in all countries and we also want to avoid some possible threats and injuries on the life and the properties of our people. Lifechanyuan neither will involve in any form of demonstrations, sit-in protest, strike, armed insurrection, terrorist violence, war and other public activities, nor will Lifechanyuan be planners, organizers and supporters of these activities. Excepting for individual privacies, Lifechanyuan will open all the speeches and opinions, organization structures, and the arrangement of activities to the public for the facilitation of government and the public criticizing, reporting and disclosing. The policy of Lifechanyuan is, immediately rectify mistake once it is found and keep the main but change the others according to the situation. As we all know, there will be more competent and talented people beyond the capable. We sincerely implore the miraculous persons, outstanding hermits, chairmen, chairwomen or presidents of all countries, and party leaders to show mercy to Lifechanyuan. I also hope that those people of various circles who are neither familiar with nor understand Lifechanyuan would keep quiet and sit on the rail. Everyone should enjoy the equality in front of the greatest creator. Lifechanyuan will be beneficial to the world. Please wait and see. Lifechanyuan consists of two sections, the soul layer and the management layer. The soul layer consists of deiform Buddha, 2 yin-yang saints, 4 kings, 8 rabbis, 16 Buddhistic masters, 32 world directors, 64 emissaries, 128 Taoists etc. 255 saints altogether. The soul layer is responsible for exploring and working up the data of the outstanding part in each culture as well as their development, and displaying the secret of the universe, time, space and life to the fullest extent through combining the latest development of science and technology. The management layer consists of the general director, branch directors of the 256 global branches and the 518 director assistants, which is responsible for the management of external and internal affairs and activities in Lifechanyuan. In order to broadly invite people of ability, the original 512 academicians were renamed as director assistants, and 6 general director assistants are added to the list, which is 518 director assistants altogether. There is no restrict for the number of academicians, so everybody can be regarded as an academician after application as long as she is friendly to Lifechanyuan and is willing to help. For more information in detail, please refer to the following overview of Lifechanyuan. The endless river eastward flows. With its huge waves are gone all those gallant heroes of bygone years. With space-time transportation, Tao embraces millions of talents. Life is transient, seizes the opportunity and exhibits your brilliancy. Flying over mountains, traversing galaxies to the ultimate place. Locking the terrible storms and waves of lifetime. Revealing the charming scenery of high-level space of life. Concerning life, looking through the universe, and traveling in the vast space-time continuum. Messengers of God and Buddha are waving from the hundreds of light years. Today, we meet at Lifechanyuan, we are flying from one side of the world to the other. Tomorrow, we'll meet at the Elysium Celestial Islands continent, enjoying the happiness of eternal life. Come on, my dear friend. Do not lose your eternal life for a transient human life. The negative universe constituted by non-material world is supernatural. We are destined to be hand in hand in this lifetime. After our merits consummating, let's look back at the little earth. Join your talent and wisdom into the creating of Lifechanyuan era. Xiefeng. February 7, 2006. There is a saying in ancient time, the wise bird chooses its branch, and the wise official chooses the great sovereign. Now we say, the wise man chooses right road, and the wise bird chooses auspicious place. The human civilization should step into a higher level. 5,000 years of human history is history of tears and blood, and the ignorant era should come to an end. Tracing back, we find that the roots of these disasters are religions, states, political parties and families, and the fundamental root lies in the chaos of ideology. Everyone thinks what he found is the only truth. If we cannot end such situation, human can never cast off such vicious circle. The era when we appraise everything by man rather than by law should be ended. Now we should advocate, law is above everything. Law refers to all charters passed by UN, all constitutions promulgated by countries. However, the most fundamental law is the law of Tao, the principle of Tao, which surpasses all constitutions. It works as the law of the universe and the law of life. And we should take this principle as the standard of our words and deeds. What are rules of Tao and life? The words and wisdoms of Jesus, Sakyamuni, Muhammad and Lao Tzu have expounded some rules of Tao, but it still needs to be perfected. This requires a large group of talents and wisdoms to accomplish this mission, to inherit and carry forward the wisdoms of Jesus, Sakyamuni, Muhammad and Lao Tzu. The Bible, the Quran, Tao Te Ching and the Buddhist scriptures are crystallization of human wisdom, but none of these classics can contain all the connotation of the law of Tao. Only when we digest all these classics and integrate them with the achievement of modern science and the wisdom of present sages, can we approach to truth and find the relatively right path. The talents and wisdoms refer to the people who have surpassed the instinct, desire, emotion and rational thinking. They are the mainstay of the civilized society, the guardian of the morality, the vindicator of the peaceful order, the defender of truth, the disseminator of wisdom, pioneer of the civilization and the inaugurator of the new era. They have characters of sensibility, modesty, plainness, peace, obliging, simplicity, diligence and tenaciousness. The features of the Lifechanyuan era are, the religions, states, political parties and families will disappear, regardless of nationalities or races, the whole world will become big family and live in harmony, there will be only one global government, the systems of management and coordination will be Lifechanyuan plus worldly government, all people will revere to the greatest creator, life and nature. All the people will join into one family and one government, person of virtue won't be abandoned away from government, honesty prevails throughout the world and no one pockets anything found on the road, doors unnecessarily to be shut in the evening for no thieves drop in, 100 flowers blossom and 100 schools of thought contend. Everyone shows his talents, people get together for friendship instead of constructing clique to seek private interest, people, gods, Buddha, nature and people, they coexist harmoniously and bring out the best for each other. The old era must be a history, the old regime must be disintegrated, the old object must die out, the old values must be desalted. All of these are objective laws which are certain to happen and will not depend on our subjective consciousness, so the only thing we can do is to adapt to this law. Any attempts of obstructing the law will be in vain and doomed to fail. Perhaps, someone will say the Lifechanyuan era is very good and very attractive, but this is totally working on one's imagination, impractical and equal to daydream. Yes, from the conventional thinking, this is equal to milk the bull or make vain efforts, however, if we have learnt the abnormal thinking, we would find this era is in the near future, because this is the operation of Tao and an irreversible law. When Noah built Ark on the mountaintop, no one thought that the downpour would drop from the sky. When Titanic sailed on the Atlantic, no one thought that it would crash on the iceberg. When the World Trade Center stood tall and upright, no one thought it would collapse in an instant. When people from South Asia countries enjoyed relaxation on the beach, no one thought the tsunami would make a surprise attack. Many incidents happened suddenly and beyond our expectation. Lifechanyuan summon the talents and wisdoms around the world. It does not mean that you get into Lifechanyuan today and carry out the Lifechanyuan era tomorrow, but is to change your consciousness and to improve your thinking frequency and strive to resonate with the frequency of the universe law. This is the only way to prevent you from getting hurt, and to prevent your thinking from falling into disorder get collapsed. All the talents and wisdoms that are willing to get into Lifechanyuan should not waste your precious times on imaginary things, but hurry up to self-improve and self-refine. Even you have owned the whole material world, it is useless. What you should do is to obey indoctrinations of Jesus to accumulate wealth in the heaven, to obey instructions of the Buddha, unconditional giving. You should get into the Lifechanyuan to absorb new knowledge, develop new thinking, exchange gnosis, knowledge and experience with other talents and wisdoms around the world and then to build up Lifechanyuan together. In this way, you are working for the Lifechanyuan era. You should never expect to be the lucky dog, never expect enjoy free lunch every day. If you want to gain, you have to pay. If you want to get into the Lifechanyuan era, you have to strive for it by yourself. Otherwise, you are not qualified for the Lifechanyuan era. Don't hate your enemies, someday they will get their deserved punishment. Don't retaliate, Tao will work for you. You should do nothing but dedicate your wisdom, talent and your love from your heart. Let's work together to build up Lifechanyuan and to open up the Lifechanyuan era. Talents and wisdoms, such a chance must not be missed, an opportunity knocks only once. You are lucky to live in this era, and it is your destiny with 1,000 years of self-improvement to get into Lifechanyuan and to build it. I hope you can get into Lifechanyuan and enjoy the sincere care and love of the brothers, sisters, relatives and lovers in this big family. You can listen the songs of love and watch the dance of love in Lifechanyuan, the ocean of love. The beautiful life is yours in the near future. New life and new era are calling for you, and Lifechanyuan is inviting you. Wish you can open a new page for your own life. Laborers are most respected here. Xiefeng. November 22, 2007. The most respected people in Lifechanyuan are not the exceptional functions, the wise men, the greatest talker, self-centered people, learners of the classic doctrines and moralizers etc., but the laborers. The builders of Lifechanyuan are the laborers, which include the people managing the website and homeland, the people writing for Chanyuan on the basis of Lifechanyuan values, the people in the other websites reprinting the corpus of Lifechanyuan, the people machining gems, the people follow the plaster on the internet to praise and encourage Chanyuan celestials, the people who prefer searching the articles, music and pictures according to truth, goodness, beauty, love, honesty, credit and then reprinting them on this website, the people who kindly and sincerely discuss, exchange, experience about life, time, space and human life. The laborers may not write articles filled with wits and wisdoms, may be short of the debated talents, may be too stupid to show one's intelligence, may be with ordinary performance, may unable to explain Buddhist doctrine or Tao, may be unable to recite or apply the paragraphs or sentences in the classics, but their souls are the most beautiful and their conducts can prove that they have obeyed the instructions of the Jesus, Buddha, Lao Tzu, and the sages. It is impossible to amaze the people with a single brilliant feat here. Here one needs to work and make a tribute silently in a down-to-earth way, and the merits of Lifechanyuan are the examples for us to learn. If one wants to be respected by others, one has to become an arduous laborer. Laziness is a big enemy of home without marriage and family. Xiefeng. August 31, 2008. I roughly browsed the reasons of the final failure of some ideal communities in history. The result is that all of them are killed by laziness. Everyone is busy in seeking enjoyment, reaping the fruit of others' labor or drifting along. As time passes, the building of the ideal homeland collapse. In order to make home without marriage and family established by us to flourish, grow, and enter into the ideal state, we have to learn from the lessons of history, so the number one enemy of homeland is not others but laziness. It is the long-term strategic target for home without marriage and family to conduct the life and death struggle with laziness. Every member of home must possess the elementary qualities such as rising up on hearing the crow of a rooster and practicing with the labor tools, getting up at the crack of dawn and cleaning the courtyard, making a firm resolution to make good, constantly striving to become stronger and working hard every day. Diligence can achieve the good future, and laziness can even ruin the blessing of God. Laziness can destroy everything. It can make one sink into vice, can corrode one's will, spirit, mind and physical body. It can ruin a whole diligent community, influence the healthful spirit of a community just like virus. At last, it makes everything stay in the doldrums, dead as a doornail, depressed, and finally decay to extermination. Laziness is a kind of virus, is the biggest devil for a man. Once laziness becomes his second nature, he will gradually become a walking corpse and running flesh to harm himself, others and homeland. Someone summarizes, the lazy man is bound to be an ordinary man is bound to be a complaining man is bound to be a painful man is bound to be a misfortune man, and a misfortune man is the lazy man. God helps those who help themselves. Heaven helps those who help themselves. Natural law punishes those who are lazy, and heaven will abandon those who are lazy. Diligence symbolizes beauty, and laziness represents ugliness. The 8 features of laziness are as followings. Seeking no progress but ease and comfort, one is indifferent to anything but prefers reaping the fruits of others. Irresponsible for anything but prefers loafing, muddling along and eating the bread of idleness. Stays up late at night and gets up late in morning without regular daily life in a weary state. Indulging in games with no desire to make progress, one idles about all day and muddles along without any aim. Sluggish and lazy, and never perfects one's skill but only pursues leisure and fears hardships and fatigue. Greedy on eating, sleeping and playing with a confusing head and 4 lazy limbs. One never participates in anything personally or carries out self-criticizes but prefers complaining, grumbling and criticizing the industrious people. Sluggish, prefers postponing and performing one's duty in a perfunctory manner with numerous excuses, one finally accomplishes nothing. Running water never becomes putrid, and a door hinge is never worm-eaten. Excellence in work is possible only with diligence, otherwise everything is ruined in laziness. Once laziness becomes one's second nature, he will idle away everything into nothing. If one is diligent, one is skillful in everything, otherwise if one is lazy, he will be accompanied by countless illness. The tower of 9 stories rose from a small heap of earth, the journey of 1,000 miles commenced with a single step. A small leak will ruin a big dam, the beautiful homeland will be ruined in laziness, so home without marriage and family will fight against laziness from beginning to end. For homeland, the laziness is AIDS, cancer, viral dysentery, robbers and devils. How to carry out the life and death fighting with laziness. The Chanyuan celestial equipped with laziness are not allowed to enter into home without marriage and family. The Chanyuan celestial equipped with laziness and remaining impenitent are not allowed to live in home without marriage and family. Anyone who pities, tolerates and sympathizes with laziness means committing a crime to home without marriage and family. The lazy guys will be disdained by the others in home without marriage and family. No one is going to associate with lazy persons. One radish, one hole. Do not leave any opportunities for the lazy persons to utilize. Home without marriage and family will regularly organize some community studies to analyze the lazy thoughts, lazy habits, lazy style and lazy psychology. Once there is any incipient tendency, we will get rid of it from our thoughts. We will praise, eulogize diligence and award the highest honor to the diligent people. Home without marriage and family belongs to all Chanyuan celestials, and every Chanyuan celestial is the owner of home without marriage and family. If someone regards home without marriage and family as hotel or private company and regards himself as migrant job hunting boy or public servant, he makes a mistake on cognition. If home without marriage and family is regarded as the manor of Shui Feng or the dean, it is an even bigger mistake. Only when each Chanyuan celestial regards oneself as the master of the home and perform the duty and obligation of the master, home without marriage and family can flourish and grow. All our ideals can realize in home without marriage and family. Adam and Eve are forced to leave the Eden because they do not know how to treasure. The ideal communities in history disappeared under the erosion of laziness because the people do not fulfill their master's duties and responsibilities. Whether home without marriage and family can move on continually to the ideal shore depends on the efforts of each Chanyuan celestial. Whether we can survive or die depends on whether we can defeat laziness. Let Lifechanyuan be known to all the world. Xiefeng. April 4, 2007. Lifechanyuan rises onto the 21st century's historical stage with its brand new concept. It ascends above those narrow concepts of political parties, religions, nationalities, and countries, and opens a new chapter of human development with a new vision, and it will usher people into the new Lifechanyuan era. It integrates religion with science, and explains comprehensively the birth of the universe, the origin of the greatest creator, the origins of life and humankind, the mysteries of time and space, the meaning, purpose, and value of life, the crises faced by humankind, the future of humankind, the origin and function of the moon, and especially the meaning of life, the levels of life, and the meaning and extension of Tao. It inherits and defends the thoughts and wisdom of Jesus Christ, Buddha, and all saints, sages, and prophets. It integrates spiritual sensual development, self-improvement, self-refinement, health preservation, one's conduct, spiritual sublimation, and the information of the new era as a whole, and it raises the consciousness of humans to an unperceived level which lays the thought foundation for humankind to enter into the Lifechanyuan era now. The basic theories of Lifechanyuan are: unconventional thinking, the greatest creator, time, space, and the universe, revelations, treasures of classical advice, Humanity. Human life. Self-improvement and self-cultivation. Life and life. Physical and spiritual healthcare. Life's wisdom. The attainment of Buddhahood. Celestial cultivation. Preaching Tao. The non-material world. Xiefeng Corpus. Articles by the masters from both home and abroad, from antiquity to modernity. Inspirations and understandings of Chanyuan celestials in Lifechanyuan. 36-dimensional space. The noble, eightfold path of thinking. 80 new concepts proposed by Lifechanyuan. All are epoch-making wisdom and will play incredible roles in changing completely the thinking mode of humankind and turn them into a new humankind. Lifechanyuan advocates people to revere the greatest creator, life, and nature, respect Buddha, the gods, and their parents, and follow the way of the greatest creator. These are the core conditions for establishing harmonious mechanisms between people among each other, people and gods, people and nature, people and other lives, and are the required conditions for mankind to enter the new era. Implementing the strategy of unifying all religions into a single belief system, Lifechanyuan are to completely eliminate all the conflicts and discordant factors of humankind which are caused by the competition of ideological fields of religions, political ideologies, nationalities, countries, and other divisive elements, and will lead mankind into a peaceful era, the Lifechanyuan era. Indications of the Lifechanyuan era will be the following. Religions, political persuasions, and national borders will die out. Wars, diseases, famines, and crime will disappear. Familial relationships will dissolve. Spiritual and soulful cultivation will replace material enjoyment. Natural disasters will lessen. We will be led by saints and managed by sages. No one will pocket anything found on the ground and doors will not be bolted at night. Life will include prosperity, peace, and tranquility. The talented will be put to their best use. The world will be as a single family. The Lifechanyuan era will last for a millennium, people will enjoy lifespans of half that, and the ideal paradise that mankind has always dreamed of will become established. Lifechanyuan will not only allow people to enjoy the pleasures and happiness of this life, but it will also guide people to extend their lives to the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium world through self-refinement of thinking. Since Lifechanyuan proposed major adjustments of life in the universe in 2013, prophecies of Mayan astrology and Tibetan monks have become known to the world. This unrelated information similarly predicted that there would be a catastrophe in 2009 and that the Earth would undergo a radical change in 2013, and was basically consistent with the information of the new era, words of Jesus Christ and Sakyamuni, Nostradamus, prophecies and predictions, Tuebe 2, 24 volumes on military strategy, and others. Therefore, it is an important period of life and death for humankind. Saving millions of lives is an overriding priority. All spiritually conscious people and those who wish to enter into the Lifechanyuan era should give up their personal interests and devote their precious time to the grand cause of promoting Lifechanyuan. You must not only use all your time to self-improve and self-refine, but also to help people around you understand Lifechanyuan, strive to build merits, and sublimate your consciousness and qualities. Any hesitation, wandering, or waiting only results in a waste of time and becomes a regret. All bits of merit will work and become embedded into our structures of life. Even if they are not for others, but for yourselves, we hope that you who read this article will promote and build Lifechanyuan and do your best to reprint Lifechanyuan's articles onto other websites. Your efforts will not be in vain because even if people cannot repay you, the greatest creator's Tao will. Punishments might not be immediate but they will be sure. Fluky minds can only anesthetize and deceive people. Doing good deeds is the only way out. Let Lifechanyuan be known to all the world. Isidun. Let us hold up the hope for humanity. To Isidun and all brothers and sisters in Kanahana family. Xiefeng. November 14, 2013. Mr. Isidun and all brothers and sisters in Kanahana family. Greetings to all of you. How happy we are to meet friends from afar. These days, all brothers and sisters of the second home, now new oasis for life, are immersed in a sea of joy because of the visit of Michio, and also because our two communities are uniting as one. We have transcended country borders, culture difference, historic conflicts, and become one big harmonious family. This is not only a great news for Kanahana and the second home, now new oasis for life, but also a great news for all Japanese and Chinese people, and a great news for the entire humanity. Kanahana family has been developing for 19 years under the outstanding guidance of Isedan. Now it is a very successful community that has reached overall abundance in material and spiritual aspects. The living environment is elegant, the community atmosphere is harmonious, and everyone feels happy, free, joyful and blessed. It is a wonderful achievement and we are very proud of you. The road ahead is very long. Humankind has been worked for thousands of years for a beautiful ideal. Numerous sages and saints have dedicated a lifetime of efforts, wisdom, and talents, even their lives, to eliminate world's poverty, famine, conflicts, and wars, and to the cause of world's peace, happiness, and freedom. The unity of Kanahana family and the second home, now new oasis for life, today is a crystallization of human wisdom. It is also a symbol of advancement of human civilization, and the result of thousands of years of pursuit of a beautiful lifestyle as well as the hope for the best future of humanity. Let us hold up the hope for humanity, and take actions to show our sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, faith, and honesty. Let us set a good example of civilization by uniting our two communities. We are confident that we are capable of overcoming all difficulties along the way, and leading humanity walk on the way of the greatest creator, and the road of peace, freedom, happiness, and eventually realize the dream of, the talents will be put to good use, and the whole world will be one family. Opportunity knocks but once. Today's world is still full of savages, ignorance, autocracy, power, conflicts, and fights. The UN and the government of all countries are making efforts. Thousands of communities/eco-villages and all individuals who love peace are working hard. We shall work even more hard, give up all personal interests and open wide bosom to embrace people from different nations, regions, cultures, political and religious background to initiate a brightest era ever. Life is limited, but our spiritual life is unlimited. The earth has its limitation, but time and space are unlimited. Human beings' wisdom is limited, but that of the greatest creator is unlimited. Let us unite hand in hand toward the infinite mysteries of time and space and continuously exploring the way forward. On behalf of all Chanyuan celestials, brothers and sisters living in the community, I would like to send my best regards and blessings to you, wish you all healthy and happy. Lifechanyuan celebrates no birthdays. Xiefeng. April 22, 2007. Celebrating birthdays for babies and the aged is warm, loving, and a pleasant cultural tradition. Therefore, Lifechanyuan does not object to people celebrating those birthdays. However, when young and middle-aged people celebrate their birthdays, especially in a way that is flashy, it is neither tender nor enjoyable, but becomes vulgar and burdensome. Officials who celebrate their birthdays do so as a form of invisible corruption, and business professionals who celebrate theirs do so to flaunt their success and their invited guests to follow the traditional customs. Lifechanyuan attempts to make life plain and simple, to simplify benevolence, righteousness, courtesy, wisdom, and credibility, and deepen morality. Therefore, we do not fuss with birthdays by wasting our time, energy, and material resources to satisfy the temporary vanities of our members. If we want to celebrate any birthdays, we should celebrate our births in heaven, the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium Celestial Islands continent. Let us rid ourselves from unnecessary and elaborate formalities. Lifechanyuan denies the building of temples and churches. Xiefeng. April 22, 2007. Heaven and earth are Lifechanyuan's churches and temples. Everything in nature is the reincarnation and dharmakaya of the greatest creator. Therefore, Lifechanyuan does not have special churches or temples, nor does it sculpt any form of idols. Of course, it will neither worship idols nor burn incense or kowtow. Lifechanyuan has only lecture halls and schools which are similar to university classrooms. They are not used to hold ceremonies, but to discuss scriptures and Tao, share experiences, and gain wisdom. Revering and worshipping the greatest creator comes from our hearts, formlessly and silently. To love life, to love nature, mountains, rivers, earth, plants, and insects, to love yourself, and to love others is to love the greatest creator. The greatest creator does not eat himself, so we do not sacrifice food to him. Lifechanyuan does not advocate veganism. Xiefeng. October 25, 2020. Lifechanyuan follows the way of nature, which exists on the principle that low-level life serves high-level life, microbes serve plants, plants serve insects, birds, and beasts, everything in nature serves mankind, and the whole universe serves the greatest creator. This shows that humans can eat animals. The teachers of Lifechanyuan are Christ Jesus, Buddha Shakyamuni, Celestial Laozi, Prophet Muhammad, Pbuh, and sages from the past. It is recorded in the Gospels that Christ Jesus fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. It is written that God will give us meat, and that we can eat it. If we were not allowed to eat meat, then Jesus would not have fed people with fish. Did Buddha Shakyamuni eat meat? The Buddhist classics are vast and voluminous. We will not look for the Buddha's original words from the classics, but learn from the Diamond Sutra, which says that the Buddha's food came from receiving alms. In simple words, this means that the Buddha traveled to every household to beg for food and that he ate whatever they offered. No records indicate that he ever rejected meat dishes from almsgivers. This facts prove that the Buddha ate meat. Whether Lao Tzu ate meat or not is unclear, but Lao Tzu has this famous philosophical point of view: the best people are like water. What are the characteristics of water? One of them is that if its container is round, then it will be round; if its container is square, then it will be square. By extension, if there is only vegetarian food, then we should eat vegetarian food; if there is only meat, then we should eat meat. In this way, we will be in line with the characteristics of water. If we refuse to eat because no vegetarian food were around, then would we be acting like water? Of course not, we would actually be acting more like stone. As for whether or not Muhammad, Pbuh, ate meat, look at Muslims. Muslims eat meat selectively. To sum up, gods, Buddhas, and celestials did not teach us that we must be strictly vegetarian. I have inspected the 3 realms and found that whether it is heaven, earth, or hell, the environments of lives have nothing to do with the type of food that they eat, but is closely related to their souls. It is better to say that whether a person lives on the earth, in heaven, or in hell is completely related to the non-material structure of their life and has nothing to do with their dietary habits. This fact proves that vegetarians are not necessarily compassionate, while those who eat meat are not necessarily evil. In the thousands of years of human history, there is no evidence that vegetarians have ever been more compassionate than meat eaters. To give a simple example, a chef made a dish with meat and vegetables in it. A vegetarian came over and told the chef that they do not eat meat and that a vegetarian dish must be prepared for them. May I ask, was this vegetarian being compassionate to the chef? Who was being merciful to the chef when they increased their workload? What kind of mercy was this? From the perspective of the transformation of life, no one can reincarnate to a higher level space while they owe any debts that remain unpaid. If a penny of debt is not repaid, then they will have to stay in the same realm of life and cannot advance until it is repaid. For example, if someone owes debts but they die before those debts are repaid, then it is absolutely impossible for their debts to be written off and that person must continue to reincarnate into the world to repay them. They can only leave the world when all of their debts have been repaid. If their debts are heavy, then they will reincarnate into the livestock world as an ox or horse to repay them. In this sense, the animals that are raised have their fateful sides. For example, pigs' fates are to be slaughtered and eaten to repay their debts and reincarnate out of the pig world. If they are not slaughtered and their meat is not eaten, then they will continue to reincarnate into the livestock world because their debts are not being repaid. From this, it can be seen that eating their meat is merciful to them because they will become liberated. If they are not eaten, then no one will be letting them repay their debts. It would be cruel to let them continue to reincarnate back as livestock. From the perspective of creationism, all products created by people have their functions and everything created by them have their clear purposes. Do we create computers and mobile phones just for fun without any purposes or uses? Does the greatest creator create lives without purposes or uses? Are they all piled up on a whim? For example, when pigs are created, what is their purpose? Is there no value or meaning? The purposes for creating roosters is to crow to wake us up in the morning and to inseminate the hens, and the purposes of hens are to lay eggs and produce more of their kind. The creation of beautiful birds is to provide a sense of beauty to human beings. Everything created has its purpose, then what is the purpose and usage of creating pigs? They exist for biological balance. Just enough carnivores are created to consume otherwise over-reproductive herbivores. So, what about the artificially fed surplus rams, roosters, and bulls? Shall we continue to raise them? Are you willing to continue to raise them, or do you want to release domestic animals into the forests and leave them to fend for themselves, or perhaps you would be willing to take care of them? Therefore, Lifechanyuan does not advocate veganism. We are practical and will not be moral supremacists. However, Lifechanyuan does not advocate eating wild animal meat because no wild animals have been created to be eaten by humans. We eat meat from animals that have been specifically fed by humans, especially those animals that are specifically fed to provide meat for humans, yet we do not advocate that just anyone can slaughter them with any old knives. The slaughtering must be carried out by professionals so as to minimize the pain of those animals being slaughtered. The only disadvantage of eating meat is that, enjoying the nutrients of domestic animals and poultry will bring harm to the people's nature. This is scientifically reasonable because any meat of life carries genetic information. If we eat animals, then we absorb those animals' genetic information within us. If we eat too much animal meat, then the amount of animal information within us will increase. In this way, their animal nature will interfere with our human nature, and our human nature will mix with their animal's nature. So how do we avoid this? One way is to eat very little meat, and another way is to be grateful for the gift of food from the greatest creator and to be grateful for the dedication of the animals eaten by us so as to resolve their nature. Going from one extreme to the other will bring harm to human society as well as to nature, so do not do anything with absolutism, that is, be an omnivore, neither a pure herbivore nor a pure carnivore. The best way is to take things as they are, follow predestined ties, eat whatever is available, and never go to extremes. As for those who are born without meat or who cannot eat meat due to disease and those who are physically allergic to it, that is another matter. Lifechanyuan era needs only 8 categories of people. Xiefeng. February 19, 2009. Man is going to and will inevitably enter the Lifechanyuan era, in which all methods are unified into one general principle, and all religions into one origin, and in which the worthy person can fully utilize his talents. The whole world is like one family, no one will keep lost articles found on the roadside, and the houses need not be bolted at night, and in which everything will be in complete harmony. The weather will be good for harvest, and everyone will be happy, free, and pleasant. This is the inevitable result of the sublimation of civilization and the development of society, which evolves and moves forward not affected by anyone's will. There are mainly 8 major identifying brands for Lifechanyuan era. The disappearance of country, religion, political party, and family. The absence of court, judger, and lawyers. The absence of constitution, law, statutes, commandment, and dharma. There will be only Lifechanyuan values. Instead of following constitution, laws, statutes, commandment, and dharma as the norm for behavior, people take sincerity, kindness, love, credibility, honesty, diligence, and harmony as the guideline for words and behaviors. The disappearance of war, diseases, hunger, and crime. Man will shift from the pursuit of material comfort to the pursuit of spiritual satisfaction. The production and life of man all over the world will be uniformly steered by sages and managed by wise men. Man will coexist harmoniously with other advanced life of the universe and nature in an orderly manner. Hence, we know that Lifechanyuan era needs only the following 8 kinds of people. Creators of material wealth. Protectors of environment. Doctors and nursing staff. Explorers of scientific laws. Government workers. Creators of spiritual wealth. Creators of soul wealth. Guide of life and life. The 8 kinds of people are summed up as follows. Creators of material wealth. Creators of material wealth are those who produce food, daily necessities, and convenient living conditions. For example, the laborers in agriculture, animal husbandry, catering, garment, industries, construction, water conservancy, and road building are all creators of material wealth. Protectors of environment. Protectors of environment are those who protect the living environment, social environment, and natural environment. For example, cleaners, policemen, and environmentalists, and so on. Doctors and nursing staff. Doctors and nursing staff are those who take charge of people's birth, aging, health, and death. For example, delivery, fostering, health, old people's diet and life, and everything that should be taken care of after an old person's death. Explorers of scientific laws. The greatest creator has created the necessary living conditions for us, but in order to fully utilize these necessary living conditions we ourselves should explore, convert, and put these conditions into use. And this requires some people to be engaged specifically in exploring the laws behind the wide variety of phenomena of nature, for example, the discovery and application of electricity, the invention and creation of transportation and communication tools, the invention and design of articles for the convenience of daily life, and the like. Therefore, scientists, experts in scientific fields, and engineers and technicians are all explorers of scientific laws. Government workers. Government workers are those who take charge of the efficient production and life of mankind, arrange people's work and transfer, take charge of the allocation and transportation of materials, and ensure the good order of human society, and the good functioning of procedures. Creators of spiritual wealth. Creators of spiritual wealth are those who maintain people's high spirit and prevent them from feeling empty, who guarantee that people are vigorous and do not suffer loneliness, who make sure people are happy and joyful and do not feel boring, and who ensure that people are free and happy and are far away from afflictions. For example, people involved in the fields of literature, painting, music, songs, dances, dramas, films, TV, folk art, games and entertainments, and people involved in the reports of examples of sincerity, kindness, love, faith, and honesty. Creators of soul wealth. Creators of soul wealth are those who instruct and guide people in daily life to pursue and show sincerity, kindness, beauty, love, honesty, faith, harmony, auspiciousness, peace and justice. This category of people mainly refers to educators of various kinds and levels. The difference is that currently educators are mainly concerned with the imparting of knowledge, while the educators we have in mind are those who stress the building of people's soul garden as well as the imparting of knowledge. A person who imparts only knowledge but neglects the building of soul garden is not a creator of soul wealth. Guide of life and life. Guides of life and life is a group of saints without rights, who help people to establish correct outlook on life, and world, and institute perfect, orderly, auspicious and harmonious operation procedures for mankind. They will have complete analysis of human nature, time, space, the meaning and connotations of life, point out the future of mankind and individuals, and guide people on the way to the heavenly kingdom that they have been dreaming of. The above people are the kinds of people needed by Lifechanyuan era, and only the above 8 kinds of people are entitled to enter Lifechanyuan era. Then what kind of people are not needed by Lifechanyuan, or in other words, are redundant? Judges, lawyers, soldiers, politicians, businessmen, entrepreneurs, bankers, financiers, wizards, and sorcerers will not be needed by Lifechanyuan era. Embassies, immigration bureaus, customs offices, banks, insurance companies, and civil affairs organizations will no longer exist. All the intermediary organs will no longer exist. And all people working in these organizations will no longer be needed and are thus superfluous. Only about 1 in 10 government staffs will be needed in government organization, and thus the remaining 90% will be superfluous. The above information needs to be pondered deeply by every member, who should think of transferring to other businesses as early as possible. Lifechanyuan International Family. The new Oasis for Life community was founded in 2009 by Xifeng in Yunnan Province, China. From 2009 to 2016, it had been called the Second Home, which implied that the community was a sweet and harmonious family home apart from each one's home of origin, and this second home also applied a new and different lifestyle. The Second Home community had attracted many Chanyuan celestials from China to come and live there permanently, and we grew to 180 members of all ages living within the community at our peak. However, Lifechanyuan values were too advanced for many Chinese people to understand and accept, so as we expanded and became more known to the public, we encountered tremendous resistance from local governments which ultimately forced us to disband in late 2016. During all these years, Xifeng always held a vision to unite communities around the world to form a big international family. In January 2017, anticipating a better future, Xifeng decided to change the community name to the New Oasis for Life, and to explore new opportunities by visiting countries outside of China. In September 2017, after a few months' exploration in Canada, a property was bought as a new community home in Canada. By this time, he felt ready to put his dream into practice, to call on the communities around the world to unite as one, an international family. Lifechanyuan International Family Society thus was registered in British Columbia, Canada. Lifechanyuan is a dictatorship, what one says goes. Xifeng. August 11, 2019. The former Chuandao Celestial, whose celestial name has been withdrawn, posted after his 2-sentence article, "Wisdom Cannot Be Learned," unconvincingly, that Lifechanyuan is only a personal worship group where what one says goes, but Lifechanyuan's veteran and meritorious Shanghai Celestial opined after his article, "Today is free for chatting," that, "If I cannot give full play to my talents from within Lifechanyuan, then I must create the necessary conditions for myself elsewhere and continue my self-cultivation." Based on the thoughts and feelings expressed in the 2 posts above, I will elaborate on the nature of Lifechanyuan and how Chanyuan celestials can exhibit their talents fully, here. Lifechanyuan is by no means an organization in any sense of the word. It is neither a political party, a religion with dogma, any form of social or civil group, a community of special interests, a charity, nor a corporation. It is only a platform by which deiform Buddha can reap ripe crops. Therefore, no democracy is practiced in Lifechanyuan. It is completely ruled by Xifeng, and the practice is, what one says goes. The purposes for any wise person to become a Chanyuan celestial are to make their life happy, joyous, free, and blessed, to let life escape from the samsara of reincarnations, and to sublimate to heaven, the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium Celestial Islands continent. Beyond this, Lifechanyuan has no other purpose. Lifechanyuan created the New Oasis for Life in order to initiate the Lifechanyuan era for humankind. Its purpose is only to create the conditions for Chanyuan celestials to accumulate merits, repay debts, end secular ties, and perfect their quality of life, but not for saving mankind. It is the responsibility and obligation of theologians and politicians to save mankind, not that of Xifeng, and certainly not that of any Chanyuan celestials. The relationships among Chanyuan celestials are as tourists who meet and travel together by chance on their journeys through life and life. They are neither responsible for each other nor do they have obligations to each other. Every Chanyuan celestial cultivates their own soul garden, walks their own way, speaks for themselves, minds their own business, does not worry about others, and does not mind other people's affairs. How a Chanyuan celestial walks, speaks, and behaves has nothing to do with other members. Therefore, no member should ever hope to impose their will on other members or hope to educate or guide them. Every Chanyuan celestial should cultivate their own state of immortality and remember that others cultivating their states of immortality have nothing to do with them. No Chanyuan celestial has any obligation to obey any other Chanyuan celestial nor any right to instruct or order them, but each has an obligation to serve all other Chanyuan celestials. Therefore, if you expect to be a master in Lifechanyuan, a superior leader, the king, to be praised and admired by everyone, or even to show off your theoretical wisdom, ability, and level, then I will tell you now that you have entered the wrong gate. No one with ambitions to do something great should become a Chanyuan celestial because there is nothing great to do here. There are only countless small chores, such as planting grass and trees, growing vegetables and crops, raising animals, washing clothes and cooking dinners, building roads and houses, cleaning, creating beautiful environments, publicizing Chanyuan values, and so forth. Do not try to create your own set of theories in Lifechanyuan, let alone work in an executive office, because regardless of whether you were once wealthy, a high official, a celebrity, a star, an expert, a professor, or a writer, and no matter whether you are extremely knowledgeable and possess great abilities, when you enter Lifechanyuan, you become an ordinary worker. All Chanyuan celestias are equal, so do not think that you will be superior, escape physical labor, make other Chanyuan celestials serve you without you serving them, or direct other Chanyuan celestials to follow your orders. So, how can Chanyuan celestials in Lifechanyuan exhibit their talents? Make other Chanyuan celestials feel happy and joyous, wash their feet and polish their shoes. Plant fresh fruits, vegetables, and grains for other Chanyuan celestials, and raise chickens for everyone to eat fresh eggs every day. Build comfortable houses for other Chanyuan celestials and let everyone live in picturesque environments. Service everyone's food, clothing, housing, transportation, birth, old age, sickness, and death needs, so that they can all live carefree lives without regrets. Produce commodities to serve society in exchange for money for the home. Create new oases for life in Africa, the Americas, Eurasia, and everywhere else. Go to Zongnanhai, the White House, the Kremlin, and the United Nations to encourage major national leaders and the UN Secretary-General to accept Chanyuan values. Carry forward the spirit of Chanyuan celestials to prevent global warming and to reduce natural disasters. How about these? Whose great talents have yet to be played out fully? Every Chanyuan celestial must bear these two ideas in mind. When you think you are right, then you are already wrong. This world is faultless, all faults lie within us. Lifechanyuan is a self-contained and open system. Xiefeng. February 11, 2020. From theory to practice, Lifechanyuan has formed its own complete system. From the origins of the greatest creator, the universe, life, and life, to the developments of time, space, life, and thinking, it has its own interpretations and explanations. From the understanding and revelations of Tao and heaven to the ways to enter into higher realities, it has its own detailed explanations and routes, especially with reference to people. These include how to do each of the following. Repay debts. End secular ties. Accumulate merits. Perfect life's non-material structure. Climb the peak of life. Reach heaven. Approach the peak of life. Lifechanyuan has formed its own system with its own set of theories and from practical experience. This system is unprecedented in history and surpasses all existing religions, political ideologies, and national doctrines that humankind has reached, as well as all existing scientific, philosophical, and theological interpretations. Not only does it represent the crystallization of thousands of years of human wisdom, but also the integrated theory of the teachings of gods, Buddhas, celestial beings, saints, and sages, and especially the practical activities of Lifechanyuan, which illustrate perfectly how people and society, and people and nature can live in harmony, and it showed perfectly how people can have happy, joyous, free, and blessed lives on their life journeys. It can be said with certainty that no people, theories, or practical activities will surpass those of Lifechanyuan within the next millennium, and such being the case, that Lifechanyuan no longer seeks cooperation with or participation in any activities of the United Nations or any countries, political parties, religious groups, organizations, or a multitude of various types of communities and individuals. Lifechanyuan is self-contained, self-growing, self-developing, operates on its own system to the greatest extent, and exists and develops independently from the outside world to the greatest extent. If we do not ask for favors from others, then we will get along well with each other. If we do not drink, then we do not need to worry about the price of wine. Super-celestial beings' characters are self-consistent. Lifechanyuan will realize self-consistency. This self-consistency is not an absolutely closed system, but an open one which opens to lives at all layers of the universe, to all countries, races, religions, and cultures around the world, and to every citizen of the planet. However, this opening is not to incorporate everything into Lifechanyuan's system, but to absorb the essence of new discoveries and new elements based on facts, science, logic, and spiritual perception that are suitable for Lifechanyuan's view of the universe, life, and value, to continuously refine and perfect the intentions and extensions of Lifechanyuan and to further civilize the practical activities of Lifechanyuan. Chanyuan celestials are the cells of Lifechanyuan's body. From now on, all Chanyuan celestials must be healthy cells that conform fully to Chanyuan values and requirements. To become a Chanyuan celestial, everyone must meet these standards. They must have no secular ties or debts. They must not be in a marital relationship. They must not consider themselves great or special. They must not be arrogant or self-centered. They must not engage in any sneaky or furtive activity. They must not deal with spirits and deities or fortunes and disasters. They must not behave in an uncivilized manner. They must pay or dedicate to Lifechanyuan. Lifechanyuan could stop developing or even disappear, but we will never lower our standards. As long as there are at least 30 standing celestials, we will always exist. If people fail to understand Chanyuan values and the life mode of the new oasis for life, or even abuse, insult, attack, and suppress Lifechanyuan and the guide, that is their business, and whether people are willing to become Chanyuan celestials or not, that is their personal decision. Lifechanyuan will never lead or recruit anyone to become a Chanyuan celestial. Chanyuan celestials must be born as such and not be guided or coerced into joining. Lifechanyuan only publicizes its values and the life mode of the new oasis for life through internet media, and never through gatherings, leaflets, or visits. Of course, we welcome those who want to visit, study, exchange, and explore our community. Within Lifechanyuan, the same requirements apply to all Chanyuan celestials. Even after one becomes a member, we never force, coerce, restrict, or even ask them to remain. Chanyuan celestials always enjoy the freedom to say and do whatever they choose. They come to Lifechanyuan of their own free will and are always welcome to leave the same way. Lifechanyuan would never beg anyone to stay or set up any obstacles, checkpoints, or roadblocks. Everything is voluntary. However, when a Chanyuan celestial drops below the standards of a healthy cell, their celestial name will be withdrawn and the community will no longer have any relations with them. Lifechanyuan is a system that always follows Tao, the way of nature. Therefore, it has never held any religious ceremonies or participated in any political activities, and it must never do either in the future. I hope that people will not judge Lifechanyuan based on their traditional beliefs and standards, because Lifechanyuan's system is a new one that has never appeared throughout history, but it is paving the road that will take humankind into the future. Therefore, no one should ever come to preach unnecessarily to us or to instruct the Chanyuan guide on how to direct his followers, let alone to use their knowledge, experience, and wisdom to guide us. We do not deny that there are competent people beyond competent people, and heavens beyond heavens, let alone deny the existence of sages, saints, and prophets whose wisdom and abilities far surpass those of Xiefeng. But when you become a Chanyuan celestial, you must either follow the guide every step of the way or ignore the existence of Lifechanyuan and follow the path that is right for you. Let us keep things simple and easy for both of us. Lifechanyuan is not an organization. Xiefeng. August 23, 2005. Upon joining an organization, whether a religious, political, or even a criminal one, you lose not only your freedom of life but also the freedom of your soul. When one is in an organization, they cannot speak or act freely, and a person without freedom is much the same as a sheep in the fold. All those who become involved in organizations have distorted minds and imperfect personalities, and the longer they remain in them, the more likely they are to become paranoid. Because of the long-term influence of organizational thinking and behavior, they become tight screws in those organizations and unable to identify themselves. The situation is the same as with tigers being trapped in zoos. As mountains become less familiar, tigers lose their courage to roar atop them and learn to regard the world outside the cage as a prison while the prison is actually within the cage. Actually, joining an organization is gambling with an uncertain future, joining a political party is gambling with one's destiny, and joining a religious organization is gambling with one's soul. Therefore, all members of political parties and religions are gamblers. They are clever in trifles but irrational and stupid in important things, except for those leaders who climb to the throne after fighting and killing each other off. Lifechanyuan is totally different from the above organizations because they are only tied by the relationships of being within the same organizations, and the friendships between them are only of the party spirit, while those in Lifechanyuan are tied by the friendships of wanting to improve themselves and of being good examples for other community members to improve themselves. What brings us together is that we are in resonance with each other, love each other, and share the same ideal and goal. Thus, the relationships among us are those of friends, brothers, sisters, and lovers, and what links us together is not the collective will, but friendships and our worship for the greatest Creator. Therefore, Lifechanyuan focuses on human nature, friendship, giving full play to strength of character, intelligence, truth, kindness, and beauty inside each Chanyuan celestial, with emphasis on the full experience of joy, happiness, and friendship. Religious organizations have rituals and regular gatherings, while Lifechanyuan has none. Political parties have constitutions and organizational disciplines, while Lifechanyuan has none. The members of religions and political parties must pay certain fees, while Lifechanyuan members pay none. Religions and political parties have strict organizational forms and there are disputes for status and power within them, while there are none in Lifechanyuan. The positions of all Chanyuan celestials are predestined, lifelong, and cannot be replaced by others. For example, Crane Celestial is the general director of Lifechanyuan and he will remain so forever, even if he resigns and ends his participation in the construction of Lifechanyuan, and even after he leaves this mortal world for the 1,000-year world. Another example is for the 8 positions of sages of Lifechanyuan. Once anyone becomes one, they will always remain one. Other positions such as the saints of Yin and Yang, the 4 heavenly kings, the 8 masters, the 16 zens, and several others, all these positions enjoy either lifelong or eternal tenure. They are as stars in the sky, each has their own unique function and position, and none can be replaced. Religions and political parties protect their own interests, only granting leftovers to outsiders, while Lifechanyuan maintains the overall interests of everyone. Religions and political parties only recruit devotees and their doors are only open to those who support them exclusively, while the doors of Lifechanyuan are open to everyone, religious followers, partisans, leaders, Democrats with neither party nor religion, and even unemployed vagrants. As long as you are a sage, you are welcome to become a celestial. There are no rules or regulations and no rights or obligations in Lifechanyuan. People are independent of each other and follow their own inclinations. We celebrate our happiness every day by singing and dancing, but we might not do it for several years when we are under dark clouds. Our causes depend on the driving forces in every celestial's mind and we are free from any compulsion. Moral courts reside deep within our hearts which enable us to make self-confessions, self-litigations, and self-judgments without any involvement from others. Xiefeng is only the guide of Lifechanyuan, but he is not qualified to command anyone. Chanyuan celestials respect him because of his wisdom and friendship as well as his sincere respect for them and because of the resonance that we all share deep inside. Xiefeng never imposes his will on any Chanyuan celestial who does not accept it. In short, Lifechanyuan is not an organization. Lifechanyuan is the wonderland for resonant souls. Xiefeng. October 25, 2008. By the will of the greatest Creator and the guidance and teachings of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni and celestial being Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, ancient and modern sages at home and abroad, and according to the life mode of the thousand-year world of heaven, Lifechanyuan has been built for harvesting ripe crops, for leaving seeds for next earth human being, and for introducing the Lifechanyuan era to humankind. The term, Chanyuan celestial refers to those angels and celestial beings who have lived in heaven in a previous life but have gotten lost in this world and cannot find their ways home, to those who have made achievements in practicing Buddhism, the way of Jesus Christ, or the way of celestial, and to others who are humble and relatively perfect and are pursuing the life of heaven. Chanyuan celestials are born, not cultivated by short-term education. Xiefeng is looking for Chanyuan celestials, not creating them. So, Lifechanyuan is the wonderland for resonant souls, a family full of harmony, auspiciousness, freedom, and happiness, a paradise for those who stick to Lifechanyuan values, a college to sublimate their quality of life and cultivate supernatural powers, and a transfer station for getting rid of worldly fetters and moving toward the thousand-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium Celestial Islands continent. Lifechanyuan is never a place to argue about the truth, an arena for fighting, a platform to show oneself off, a market to sell personal thought, an arena to present personal magic arts and skills, a Shanghai beach for gaining power, money, fame, or beauty, nor a classroom for showing one's knowledge and ability to teach other Chanyuan celestials and guests their lessons. It is by no means a place where some are drawn in to squeeze others out, that they might extend their own power. There is no room for discussing and debating here, but only for holding fast to Chanyuan values. If you do not agree with Chanyuan values, you should find a place where you can practice your debating skills. We will not let you talk here, not because we are too autocratic, but because you would be swimming against the tide. Disallowing the promotion of rat poison in a food store is not the fault of the store's manager, but that of the wholesaler for choosing to market it in the wrong place. There are only Chanyuan values in Lifechanyuan, no other thoughts should exist here. It is unworkable to publicize your own thoughts in Lifechanyuan because unless they are beyond those of Jesus, Sakyamuni, Lao Tzu, Muhammad, PBUH, Xiefeng, and Qiankuan Celestial, your thoughts are not worthy of our learning. You can say anything about praise, encouragement, reciprocal affection, truth, goodness, beauty, love, honesty, and trust freely. You can move freely and quickly on your thoughts of Chanyuan values. If you have any doubts about life, or time and space, do not be afraid to discuss them if you can. If you are in doubt, ask freely, but do not play with your own cleverness or you will be lifting a rock to drop on your own feet. No matter how many Chanyuan celestials we have, they are all as one person. Take a look at the first celestials in the early stage of Lifechanyuan, alphabetically. Sanhai Celestial, Dayform Celestial Asterisk, Foshan Celestial, Jiao Celestial, Penglai Celestial, Qiankuan Celestial, Taiji Celestial, Tianshan Celestial, Wanyin Celestial. They were as one person. Could we distinguish among them? These people never held discussion meetings, communicated in private, nor made any offensive or defensive alliances or agreements on offensive and defensive activities. They were not bound to each other and acted as they pleased, but what they did, thought, wished, acted, and presented, were as a single individual. Over the last few years, some people have fanned the flames and tried to divide and disintegrate them, but what has happened? They just swung their axes onto their own feet. Fortunately, this state has continuously fermented and expanded, followed by more and more Chanyuan celestials joining in. They are also like one person. In alphabetical order, they are Ailian Celestial, Songlong Celestial, Dongfang Celestial, Fahai Celestial, Fanqing Celestial, Huahui Celestial, Huixin Celestial, Huiying Celestial, Jingying Celestial, Lianxin Celestial, Lingfeng Celestial, Lingshao Celestial, Longgong Celestial, Mizong Celestial, Puji Celestial, Shenfo Celestial, Xingming Celestial, Shufo Celestial, Songbai Celestial, Tiangong Celestial, Tianji Celestial, Tianhe Celestial, Tianshi Celestial, Tongtian Celestial, Tongxin Celestial, Tongyuan Celestial, Wanjiang Celestial, Wanmin Celestial, Wushang Celestial, Xianzhe Celestial, Yiyun Celestial, Zhengjue Celestial. They are just like the formula 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. These people can share difficulties, share weal and woe, live and die together, and always remain as close as any family. Is this not the factor of a great harmonious world? Is this not the dream of mankind? Is this not the result of practicing according to the teachings of Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad, pbuh? Is this not the epitome of the 1,000-year world and the 10,000-year world of heaven? Is this not the best human expectation? Of course it is. Are there conflicts among these people? Do they argue? Is there any intrigue? Is there any competition or jealousy? None at all. Some have suggested that Lifechanyuan has come to an end, however the fact is not that Lifechanyuan has come to an end, but that they have. Some have said that Chanyuan celestials are cheated by Xifeng, however the fact is that they have been fooled by their petty tricks and short-sightedness because any Chanyuan celestial is hundreds if not thousands of times wiser than them. In today's internet arena with abundant information, who deceives people publicly? They should consider themselves. Some people try painstakingly to awaken Xifeng and all the Chanyuan celestials, but they are in fact the ones who are sleeping lethargically, not us. How could they awaken anyone when they are the drowsy ones? They are blind with elusive thoughts and muddled and confused minds, but even if they could, to where would they go next and to where would they take the people who they awakened? Chanyuan celestials do not worship Xifeng as a god, but respect him as an elder brother, as a close friend to whom one can open their heart and communicate with closely, as a friend who can be awakened in the middle of the night to share a drink, and as a playmate with whom you can flirt and tease and pull his nose and ears for entertainment. While those who are fettered by traditional thinking and shackled by religious doctrines raise Xifeng to the rank of a god whom they can attack, this is of their own imagination. They imagine Xifeng as a god, then they attack him like Don Quixote attacking the wind as his enemy. This is ridiculous. Worship and respect are not the same. If we take respect as worship, then there will be gods everywhere. It is only your false accusation that Xifeng's ambition and behavior of initiating Lifechanyuan represents a desire to become some international overlord in order to garner power, money, and sex. Bees never compete with flies for food and cranes never flock with wild ducks. How can a sparrow know the ambition of a swan? How can Leiades guess the wishes of super-celestial beings? In short, Lifechanyuan is a home and paradise for resonant souls, and anyone who resonates with Chanyuan values is a member of this home. You can play games, entertain, and travel throughout your lives together with other Chanyuan celestials. If you cannot resonate with Chanyuan values, then please find a place that you will like, stop indulging yourself in complaining about people in heaven here, stop moaning about being ill and saying that no one understands you in Lifechanyuan, and stop complaining to others. Lifechanyuan Overview. Dayform Buddha. Take a broad view and you will see faraway mountains are fresh and green. Stay and study in Lifechanyuan will a new life begin. You will see clear paradise scenes. Lifechanyuan is the home of spirit and mind, the habitat of the exhausted human life, the desert oasis for the ordinary, kind, honest, hardworking and intelligent people, the institute to understand the implication and significance of life and the transit station to the heaven. Lifechanyuan follows the path of the greatest creator, and the core value of Lifechanyuan is revere the greatest creator, revere life, revere nature and create Lifechanyuan era. When you feel exhausted, anxious and confused in this mortal life, you can take some time to Lifechanyuan to drink a cup of tea, take a rest, recover from fatigue state, chat, listen to other people's perception of life, and experience the quiet and peaceful atmosphere and find out whether there are indeed some unworldly higher beings. The universe has 36-dimensional space, and each space is a huge world, among which includes supreme level, middle level and lower level life space. Lifechanyuan will show you the secrets of different space levels and escort you to set foot on the super time and space road toward the beautiful, picturesque and fascinating 1,000-year world, 10,000-year world and Elysium world through its explanations on the universe, time and space. Human life is full of misfortune, pain, regret and frustration, worry and sadness has always tangled us. Many puzzling mysteries of human life make us feel contradictory. Unpredictable situations and unexpected good or bad fortune make us anxious, undesirable and troublesome things often make us sleepless, disease and hunger often threatens us. From time to time the complicated and changeable interpersonal relationships entrap us into the painful abyss, the survival competition oppresses us and makes our exhausted body fall into the grief vortex one after another. Why is our life like this? Why are we always stuck in a dilemma hard to get out? Why can't we control the path of our own life? For thousands of years, the wise people have been working hard to seek the answers. The sages such as Jesus, Sakyamuni, Muhammad, Lao Tzu from one generation after another had paid their painstaking efforts for us. Marx, Lenin, Mao Zedong, Thomas Jefferson, Lincoln had worked so hard for us. All of them tried to create a peaceful world in which everyone is equal and happy. The great sages such as Moses, St. Paul, Mahavira, Zarathustra, Mani, Vardhamana, Dante, Seth had endured the hardships and advised us in earnest in order to lead us into a happy homeland. But the real answer seems to be still far away from us, and we still need to go a long journey, step by step, to approach the other side of truth. The development of science provides us with the keys to the door of truth. The great masters of science such as Einstein, Newton, Galileo, Faraday, Stephen Hawking had paved the steps for us to approach the door of truth. The great inventors such as Edison, Rockefeller, Henry Ford, Bill Gates had created the practical tools for us. The great masters such as Plato, Ibn Sina, Zhu Xi, Aristotle, René Descartes, Bacon, including Adam Smith, Rousseau, Voltaire, Malthus, Darwin, Freud had equipped us with necessary rational thinking tools. Now it is the time for us to carry on the past heritage and open up the future, to reform radically and absorb all the essence of human wisdom so as to create a new era. Lifechanyuan not only aims to solve the problems such as, whether there is the greatest creator, the origin of life and universe, the inevitable and occasional, the problem of karma, the problem of past life and afterlife and the problem of whether there is God, Buddha, celestial being, but more importantly is to show everyone the optimal life, relieve pains in human life, guide everyone towards the supreme life space, so as to make life bloom forever with the beautiful flowers in the eternal time-space. The establishment of Lifechanyuan is an unprecedented huge project, in which dozens or hundreds of individuals are powerless, and a single nation or a country is far from competent, and the common wisdom and knowledge can barely do much about this issue. What we need are hundreds and thousands of people with the highest spirituality and wisdom from different nationalities to play the roles of leaders. I sincerely hope the secluded people in this world, religious figures, presidents, Nobel Prize winners, billionaires, scientists, entrepreneurs, literati, ordinary civil servants, teachers, workers, peasants, soldiers, businessmen, etc., including the homeless tramp will participate in this project. As long as you can explain any issue about the universe, time-space, human life etc., and no others can refute your theory, then you are eligible to be in the leadership of Lifechanyuan. Lifechanyuan does not belong to any country, any nation, any religion, any political party, group or individual, so it plans to set up branches worldwide. Lifechanyuan is not a religion, so there is no special ceremony and requirements. Lifechanyuan is not a company, so it will not involve any business activities aiming for profits. Lifechanyuan is not a political party, so it neither has a constitution nor participates in any political activities. People who participate in the leadership work of Lifechanyuan will not receive any material benefits. However, your great wisdom and virtue of selfless dedication will be honored and admired, and your name will be engraved on the milestone in Lifechanyuan to be remembered forever. The main contents of Lifechanyuan. Unconventional thinking, the greatest creator, time, space, and the universe, humanity and human life, physical and spiritual healthcare, revelations, self-improvement and self-cultivation, life's wisdom, preaching Tao, celestial cultivation, the attainment of Buddhahood, the non-material world, Siefeng corpus, Chanyuan celestial corpus. Initial speech. A sailing boat loaded with new life is on sail, a new era is coming. We are in an era of global economy development, material prosperity, spiritual poverty and soul gloomy, an era focusing on pragmatic materialization, and an era of no belief. It is a glorious mission for each sage to cultivate conscience, educate people, plant civilization and enlighten minds. It is the call of the times to build a spiritual and psychical home worldwide. The greatest thought is the rational thinking, and the power of reason is the strongest ruling force for humankind. Comparing with the 36-dimensional space, our human beings are living in a very narrow world. It is necessary for us to tell those barbaric people the huge universal system, and it is also necessary for everybody to know the answer to the question, why should I be me? What do I live for? A great era needs to be guided by a great thought. Without a powerful spiritual support and a liberated soul, the economic development will only cause the widespread depravity and decadence of human being. We are enlightened by the rational thinking of sages in all ages, yet none of the past great men's thinking is able to meet the spiritual and psychical need of the people today. All religions have made indelible contributions to the development of human civilization. But each has its own time limitations and cannot serve as guidance for humankind today. If a theory or a thought exists for more than 1,000 years, and still cannot bring peace and stability to the world, nor bring happiness and joy to every life, then we have to be skeptical about this. If a theory, or a thought, is not accepted by people willingly, instead, if it is accepted in a fog either by using state machinery, or some kind of forces or institution, or in seditious, abetting, or deceptive ways, or through material temptations, promising people with a better future but unable to make it clear what kind of scenario it is, we have to think about these deeply. If a theory, or thought, cannot make people enjoy the joyous of this present life, rather, believes that only sufferings can ensure the otherworldly well-being, then this theory either is used as a deception, or it is immoral. Before everything is clarified, we must first believe in science, be practical, realistic, and believe in logics. We believe that only those who stand on the peak of science are people closest to the truth. It cannot be denied that, the great souls are beyond science, time and space. Their thoughts cannot be generally accepted by ordinary people, and this is why the great souls are lamentable and lonely. If the great souls cannot bring actual happiness and hope for the future, then they are worthless. Lifechanyuan is a place gathered with great souls. Great souls do not come from the low-level life space, and neither from the middle-level life space, but from the supreme-level life space. As early as before World War I, nearly 10,000 advanced souls, the great souls, have descended from the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and Elysium world. Today, in the name of Lifechanyuan, I was permitted to come here to summon you, the great souls. I wish to tell you, your presence in the man's world is not to enjoy the happiness, rather you are to explain the secrets of the universe and the meaning of life, to save the suffering people in the world, and to let people enjoy worldly happiness and joy generation after generation. You have to call an end to your transmigration in the man's world, because after 3 times of transmigration, you will get your nature lost and you will never find the road to home. You should try to remember the missions given to you in heaven before you left for man's world. You should know clearly that, the greatest creator loves human beings, cares for human beings. Mankind must be saved from catastrophe before material prosperity and moral degradation, in order to avoid the tragedy of flood in Noah's times. When people have no fear of force, then, as is the common practice, great force descends, people have to know what it implies. Henry Van Dyke, an American author, educator, poet, playwright, and clergyman, once said, "Men of privilege without power are waste material. Men of enlightenment without influence are the poorest kind of rubbish." Men of intellectual and moral and religious culture, who are not active forces for good in society, are not worth what is a cost to produce and keep them. You are great souls with great thoughts. If you are a president, you are not a great soul if you only consider the benefits of your own political party, group, and even personal interests, rather than the benefits of all people. If you receive tertiary or above education, but you focus only on personal gain and live without serious ambition instead of serving the human world with your knowledge, you are not a great soul. If you have gained wealth from the world but never thought of paying back to the world, you're just a poor soul. If you are a government officer, but you only care how to get promotion and rich, or make your ancestors illustrious, rather than bringing benefits to the ordinary people, you're also just a poor soul. If you have made some achievements and stopped to make advancement, leading a befuddled life and intoxicating yourself in sensual pleasures, you are not a great soul either. The great souls will be brought to the supreme level life space and the inferior souls will be thrown into the low-level life. Nobody is willing to display the excrement in the toilet in the living room and put the good wine and dainty dishes into the toilet. This is established among human beings, let alone the order of the greatest creator. Only when people around him are happier than himself can the great soul find peace in mind. Only when we selflessly devote our wisdom to human society can our souls be eligible to enter the supreme life space. Take a broad view and you will see faraway mountains are fresh and green. You must open the window of the soul, and look into the future. For thousands of years, humans have been groping forward and have lost themselves, without knowing there are mountains outside mountains and there are spaces outside spaces, suffering unnecessary grief and sorrows and not knowing the secret of life. Innumerable kind people are trampling the life of themselves and even others, not revering the greatest creator. Innumerable people can only repeated transmigration in middle or lower level of life or have to follow the wrong guidance blindly. Because of the absence of a great wisdom. Few people ever ask themselves, why should I be busy as a bee all day long? Does it have anything to do with the meaning of my life? What's the difference between me and a rushing ant? People who are living by instinct, fame, and emotional life can only repeat their mistakes, falling into the same old trap forever. The frog at the bottom of the well always regards its place as the ocean and its vision as the entire blue sky. People who are living the intellectual life can enjoy thousands of rivers and mountains. But people who are living the spiritual life can travel through constraints of time and space and appreciate the charming and infinite scenery in the vast expanse of the universe. So please do not lead a fuddled life in the middle or lower space. Do not fight, kill, plunder or rob in the secular perplexities. Do not moan and groan in the vortex of thinking. Do not continue to destroy lives by ultimately harming yourself. The boat of Lifechanyuan will be fully loaded with people with wisdom and spiritual nature for the sea of truth, to enjoy the real pleasure of life. The greatest creator is impartial, because he has strictly arranged the program for where they should base on their conducts in man's world. Those with superior spiritual nature will go to the supreme life space and the less superior spiritual nature will have to go to the lower life space. Tao is impartial, because it has recorded every conduct of people. All those who want to act in accordance with the law of the greatest creator and those who want to pursue the truth, please dedicate your talents and wisdoms. Please be a member of the sages in Lifechanyuan. If you think you can be a sage, please come and be invisible saint in Lifechanyuan. If you think you are able to take the position of space master, please come and be one bravely. If you are able to undertake the missions as a light messenger, then be one. If you are able to lead Lifechanyuan, why don't you give a try? If you have possessed excellent morality, then try to be Chanyuan celestial. Do not moan or groan on the injustice around you. Do not let your wisdom and intelligence quench slowly. Do not think yourself a failure. Do not stay at home and endure those stupid scolding. Lifechanyuan is an entirety, it will make your life send out colorful aura, and at that time, you will find that you are not the man that you imagined before. As long as you strive for these, you will win the favor from the greatest creator and people. The boat of new life is launching. All those who are willing to follow Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Lao Tzu and other saints and sages, all those who are willing to explore the profound mystery of time and space, all those who want to go to the supreme life space, all those who possess the ability of telepathy, please come on board. Lifechanyuan is bound to bring you to a boundless and marvelous place in which you will have infinite yearning in your dream, a place beyond your imagination and never heard of, where you will be happy, excited, and relaxed, and a place to entrust your life. The greatest creator is with me, and the greatest creator will be with you. You get peaceful mind through mediation under moonlight. You will find the truth in Lifechanyuan after the long journey of life. Lifechanyuan Scripture for Surviving Calamities. Xiefeng. August 8, 2024. Translation edited by Chinyu. Heavy rains fall one after another, floods rise to overwhelming levels, crops fail, and hunger looms near. Heat waves surge higher and higher, scorching heat presses down, body and mind are tormented, and fires rage nearby. Waves of epidemic strike one after another, coming in relentless succession, impossible to defend against, and death calls. Earthquakes rumble one after another, stirring the seas, coastlines suffer, and lowlands turn into oceans. Social unrest spreads, global chaos erupts, war clouds gather densely, and there is nowhere to hide. Rumors fly everywhere, deceit runs rampant, trust is gone, and all defenses seem futile. Disaster strikes suddenly, darkness comes uninvited, and all wisdom seems like fleeting clouds, countless plans fall short. This is humanity's calamity, how should we survive it? Light the divine lamp in your heart, and let the Creator steady your mind and spirit. Harbor no resentment, no worry, no fear, and trust firmly in the justice of the Tao. Pray, repent, and cultivate yourself, commit no evil, and do all good. Revere the greatest Creator, revere life, and follow the way of nature. Entrust your life to the greatest Creator, let the Tao guide your life, and live each day with romance and optimism. Adapt to circumstances, flow with the changes of fate, act with your nature, and respond to situations as they arise. Avoid greed for bargains, do not follow the crowd, and store some food and medicine. Gather often with a few close friends, supporting each other in body and mind. Lifechanyuan's attitudes toward the bourgeoisie. Xiefeng. November 7, 2007. Without the bourgeoisie, there would not be progress and development of mankind. Without the bourgeoisie, there would not be abundant commodity and lifestyle, so, the bourgeoisie should be respected and protected. The private property should not be violated and deprived at someone's option, and private house should not be intruded and disturbed at random. The bourgeoisie is a stratum of hard-working, more diligent and more creative than the proletariat. They contributed much more to society than the proletariat. The process of creating and accumulating wealth is very hard, and one needs to work from dawn to night, to exert all his strengths and wisdoms, to take risks and to work hard. The hopes for the bourgeoisie are, don't oppress and exploit the employees working for you, pay salary on time according to the legal limit of government, ensure their basic living safeguard, cultivation, and further study, as well as their rights and interests of participating social activities, do not make a fortune through polluting and destroying nature, do not excessively lift up your horn and make widely known, do not be over-extravagant to arouse others' envy and resentment. You can fully enjoy the material life but do not waste and squander. You also need to give hopes and means of subsistence to the proletarian when you are better off. 1/10 of your income should be taken out to reward the society. In this way, the bourgeoisie can exist for a long time and enjoy the everlasting prosperity, otherwise, it will strengthen the turbulence of the society. Lifechanyuan's New Year's Day Message, 2006. Xiefeng. December 31, 2005. People are marching rapidly and disasters are associated closely with us. We will enter into the year of 2013 in 7 years, it is time to wake up. Tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes, and blizzards, mingled with the bird flu and overflowing rivers are shaking the earth, and an even larger storm will arrive soon. Oh, poor humans! When will you find time to face the greatest creator and pray to him to relieve us from these disasters? People, you can outsmart neither the greatest creator nor death, so you should stop being arrogant and blind. Even if you launched tens of thousands of spacecrafts to monitor nature's changes, and even if all of your 6.5 billion people fought together, you could still not escape this punishment due to your reckless wrongdoings toward nature. I called upon you on New Year's Day last year, but you heeded none of my advice. I am afraid that now it is too late to rein in the precipice. You have been blinded by your self-righteous science and have rested your future on overconfidence. Think it over again. Can you withstand the shaking of mountains? Can you endure the hard times when the sun and moon are not shining? Why can you not pause to look, listen, and think? You should have given first priority to your overall situation, attached necessary importance to everyone's benefits, and known that when nests are overturned, no eggs remain unbroken. Earthworms digging holes in the soil in Japan can cause earthquakes in Europe, and smoke in Madagascar can cause droughts in the Americas. Give up your narrow interests of nationalism, religion, politics, families, and wild ambitions of personal dominance. Instead, pray for mankind and devote your talents and wisdom to everyone's interests. You have painted yourselves into a desperate corner. Everything except for bread, shelter, and clothing is extravagance. Your extra enjoyment depends on the gifts and nursing of Mother Nature. If her blood is drained by you, then how can you survive? You are always hurrying and bustling up blindly. Where on earth are you going? Develop. Speed up. Develop. Speed up. Will the sun not rise tomorrow? Do you really have the ability to settle on Mars? What have the heads of the United Nations and national governments figured out so far? Do they really have the ability to stop these destructive attacks? What do the religious leaders of Christianity